Plaintiff Aurora Neeson says she was driving home late on the 4th of July, and out of nowhere, the defendant hit her from behind. Aurora claims when the defendant got out of the car, he reeked of marijuana. And then he told Aurora that she didn't need to call the police because he was a police officer. Aurora's suing for the car damages. Defendant Samuel Zatino says the week of the accident was a bad week because his girlfriend broke up with him after she caught him talking to other women online. Samuel admits that he hit Aurora, but claims it was her fault because she slammed on her brakes.
Start with you.
I was driving home about 2 a.m. on July 4th when I felt a strong force hit me from behind. I then proceeded to step out of my car and realized I was hit so hard that the back of my car was resting on the defendant's hood. When he got out of his car, he starts talking, and I was hit by the pure smell of marijuana the second he stepped out of his car. So I know right then that it was a bad situation. He tried to tell me, "Ma'am, put your phone down. The cops don't need to get involved by any reason. I'm a cop. We don't need the police involved. Oh, I'll take care of this." And then I tried to calm myself down because of the situation. Then he tried to tell me he was in such a hurry to get home because his girlfriend was beating his daughter. And I was on the phone with 911. Then he started getting in my face, tried to grab me by my shoulders, said, "Ma'am, seriously, you need to put the phone down. I'm a cop. Police don't need to be involved in this." So I started telling them what happened, where we were.
Telling the police?
Correct.
On the phone?
On the phone. And then he's like, "I was just in a hurry to get to a party." He was not keeping his story straight.
He changed his story.
He was changing his story. There was like 3 different stories. And I knew at that point, with the smell of marijuana and the fact that he couldn't keep his story straight.
Okay. Let me hear from him. Sir?
Your Honor, I just want to start off by saying that week was a really bad week for me. I just got, I just broke up with my girlfriend. She did catch me online talking to other females, and, which was my fault. But then on that night, I remember, driving, trying to get to a house that I was familiar with by the number. But I go down the street I'm not really familiar with, and it's really dark. I do see her driving in front of me, but I didn't think she was really that close. I look for a split second to look for a house number in the house that I'm familiar with, where I hit her, where I just look up and I just see red lights and I hit her. She gets out of the car and she looks at me and says, "That's what you get for riding on my butt with your arms in the air like that," really, really angry. I have to say,
that's what you get.
Yeah, she said that's what she said. She said
not
that's
what she gets.
Well, that's what
it's like she wasn't harmed. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what she said. So if she got out, that's the first thing she says. And I did try to say stuff for her not to bring the police in it since I don't have insurance and the vehicle wasn't mine. But I never put my hands on her. I don't know where she's getting the whole police story from. I mean, do I look like a cop? I mean,
yeah.
There's. Well, I'm not a cop.
How do cops look?
A cop, just something more. I feel like something more with more. I don't know, something that isn't me. I don't think I'm a cop. That's not what I said. I don't remember. I don't recall saying that.
You said you don't look like one. That presumes that there's a certain look that they have. That's all.
Something more assertive. That's what I was not trying to. I was not trying to be assertive. I never put my hands on her.
So cops are all assertive?
In some ways, yes.
And others aren't?
Maybe not.
Okay, that's a stereotype.
I was not.
And cops
that's
don't
a stereotype.
Get high.
All police aren't assertive unless it is necessary. They don't look assertive. All of them, everybody getting bad cops confused with the majority of the cops. Just like you're saying, there's some stereotype of how cops look. You say cops look assertive, like, I know some that don't. So let's not stereotype police officers because of what's going on with the bad police in our country, which is a bad thing. But we can't disparage all of them.
Plaintiff Aurora Neeson says after the defendant crashed into her car, he lied and said he was a police officer.
All right, so how did all this have to do with a bad week with your girlfriend?
The thing is, that week I was partying a lot, and I wasn't getting any sleep at all, barely. I was very sleep deprived before I got behind the wheel that night. So
you knew that?
Yes, I did. But the thing is, I was going somewhere. I didn't think it was.
You knew you were driving illegally?
Yes, I did. Under the
How about the
influence-
weed? Had you been smoking weed?
No, I was not.
All right. And did you leave the scene of the accident?
I did leave the scene, but she did give me permission to leave the scene.
That is.
Okay.
I told her.
Happened.
I told her, I was like, okay, look, there's no way. I mean, I need to be somewhere. If I can give you my ID and that you take pictures of the vehicles and
You
the license
gave her
plate.
your ID?
I gave her my ID. I gave her
Ma'am?
my ID. And
Doesn't sound like
I
he's
was
trying to get
taking-
away if he gave you his ID.
I was taking pictures of the accident,
Mm-hmm.
and I had walked around to take a picture of his license plate, which is the picture I have
Mm-hmm.
with me today. And he throws his license out the window at
Mm-hmm.
me. I did not give him by any means to leave the scene.
Why do you think he threw his license out?
He'd already had told me that he was already driving on a suspended and that he would be
I
arrested.
know, but why do you think he would throw it out? That's really doing something to hurt
That
yourself.
was beyond me, because when I told the cops that, I was full-blown astonished.
All right. Well, I don't
was-
think he's going. I don't think he was trying to escape because he did throw his license out, and that indicates someone who at least wants you to know who he is, and whether he has insurance, whether he was sleep deprived, which might be negligence. The fact is, I'm not going to conclude that he was trying to get away, because you don't give a person a driver's license if you don't want them to know who you are. So your car damages. Let me see what those are. Sir, why shouldn't you be responsible for the damages?
because she slammed on her brakes, she caused the accident. I did not.
Okay. Well, the law requires that you drive to accommodate a sudden stop. And there's a presumption that you are negligent if you hit someone in the back. Say someone runs out in front of that person and that person has to slam on the brakes. And here you are so close to them, you can't stop. Well, it wasn't their fault because somebody, so there's a million reasons people slam on the brakes. Now, he admitted that he hit you in the back when you stopped suddenly. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,730. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.